Hello everyone, welcome to day 24. So today's class is going to be slightly different. Still going to be a nice flow, but we are going to do a little bit of crow workshop. So if you've never done crow before, it's an arm balance. It's one of the most well-known arm balances, and it's a great foundation for more arm balances to come. So we don't need anything for the class. I do have a yoga bolster here if you have one of those, or you can just grab a couple of cushions, but you don't really need it. It's just there for your own confidence, really. And they're also got 2 yoga blocks or big chunky books. Again, you don't really need them, but if you have them around, then you can grab those now. So I hope you enjoy this class, and let me know in the comments below how you get on if we manage to get a little bit of arm balance time. So I do hope you enjoy, and I'll see you back on the mat. So we're going to start lying down on our backs. And you can start off with letting the legs go out long, and then having your hands just gently resting on your stomach. Just feeling the body relaxed against the ground. And starting to notice your breath. And just feeling the breath coming in and out through the nose. Starting to bring a little bit more awareness there. Take a big breath in, let it go all the way down into the belly. Feeling the hands rising up. And then exhale out through the nose. Feel the hands fall back down. And again, big breath in. And out. One more time, inhale. Exhale. From here, take your hands all the way up overhead. And you're going to link your thumbs together. And then we're just going to really activate and stretch out through the body. So I want you to point your toes and then point your fingers up towards the back of the room, and feeling like someone is pulling your ankles, pulling your wrists in 2 opposite directions. So you're really stretching out. Stretching, stretching, stretching. Feeling nice and active. And then relax. Then from here, you're going to bring the knees into the chest, giving yourself a little squeeze in, a little hug, rounding the back. Since we are going to be working towards crow pose, we're just going to find this position of our crow, but on our back. So I want you to take your hands up towards the ceiling and then flex your wrists. So it's almost like you're planting your hands on top of the ceiling. So you're flexing the wrists. And then from here, you're going to try and bring your knees towards the elbows, or maybe even a little higher. If you press up through the hands and round your shoulders off the ground, the knees can come towards the back of the triceps. So you're squeezing in through the core, pointing the toes, the back is rounding, you're pressing through the hands so the shoulders are lifting off the ground, squeezing in through the core, holding here. Now see if you can take your hands, take your gaze, not between your hands, but just in front of the hands. So you're looking up, big breath in, holding, holding, holding. And then relax down. Squeeze the knees in, big breath in, and out. And then coming back to that crow pose again. So lifting the shoulders, rounding the back, squeeze the core, try and get those knees towards the triceps. And then from here, you're going to open out into this low dish. See if you can take the arms overhead and the legs out long, squeeze the core, and then you're going to crunch it back in. And I go, inhale, we open. Exhale, we crunch it in, looking up. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch it in. So it's really important to have a strong core when we're going through these arm balances. This is just why we're finding this really strong core activation straight away. Crunch it in. Let's go for one more. Inhale. Exhale, very good. Relax down. Big breath in. Big breath out. Start to rock up and down the spine. Nice rounded back still. Forwards and backwards. And then in your own time, we're going to come all the way through to a tabletop position. So you can just cross over at the ankles, bring the hands out in front, and then bring ourselves into that tabletop position. Hands under the shoulders. Let's just stretch out through the core here and go through a couple of cat-cows. So inhale, scoop the belly. Big stretch through the core, big breath in. Exhale, rounding the back, press through the hands. And again, inhale. And exhale. A couple more, big breath in. And out. Finding our tabletop position again. So as we are going to be balancing on our hands, we've got to have a really strong activation through our hands and through our fingertips. So the palms are nice and flat, the fingers are spread out on the mat, and then I just want you to start to press the tips of the fingers into the mat, and you can notice how they start to go slightly white from the pressure, and then you can also slightly lift up through your middle knuckles. So it's kind of looking like a bit like a spider, so you're really activating. So that means that you're not just being strong through the palms, but you're also being strong through your fingers. So that's going to give you even more stability there. So just have a go with lifting the knuckles up, almost like you're wanting to crunch the mat underneath your hands. Then you're pressing the fingertips down. Very good. Then we're going to warm up through the wrists. So start to find a bit of a rock forwards and backwards. So there will be a lot of pressure on the hands, so it's really important to warm the wrists up. And then also noticing that we're finding quite a bit of mobility here, so noticing my shoulders coming past the wrists. A couple more rocks here. And then you're going to flip your right palm underneath. And then again, find a bit of a rock forwards and backwards there. And then switch the grip, flip the left palm, little rock forwards and backwards, just gently stretching them out. Very good, and then bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Okay, from here start to tuck the toes underneath, and you're going to lift the knees, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pressing through the hands, lengthening the spine, inhale and exhale. Inhale here. As you exhale, I want you to shift forwards to a high plank, and as you do, I want you to bring your right knee towards your right tricep. See how high you can get it up that right arm. Squeeze the core, rounding the back. Inhale, we then step the foot to the back. Other side, left knee comes towards left tricep, squeeze the core, rounding the back, press through the hands, and then step it back. I'm gonna do that again. Right knee, right tricep, and step it back. Left knee, left tricep, and step it back. Keeping this going like a really slow march through the legs. And you're gonna warm up through the core, through the shoulders. See if you can get that knee a little higher up the arm each time you do this. Really round the back, pressing through the hands. Let's go one more each side. Right knee and left knee. Very good. From here you can walk the feet all the way up towards the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold, and let your arms be nice and heavy, let them relax. You can take a hold of opposite elbows with your hands. Big breath in, big breath out. Slowly rolling up through the spine, lifting the arms up overhead. Inhale, palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, bring the palms at your chest. Inhale, lift the arms up, big breath in. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands. You can step or even hop back through a chaturanga. Inhale, cobra on the belly or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take one breath here, one breath out, and again inhale, exhale, inhaling here, Exhale, bend the knees, look forwards. You can step walk or try a little hop. Squeeze the core, step the feet to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, fold. Rolling up to standing, lift the arms, gaze up. Exhale, hands at the chest. Let's go again. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or hop back. Through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Again, big breath in. And out. Inhale again. And exhale. So slowly warming the body up through these sun salutations. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step, walk or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rolling up, lift the arms. And exhale, hands at the chest. Let's do one more round. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or hop back through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Very good. From here, you're going to bring the knees down, untuck the toes, and just sit back into your child's pose. Take a big breath in, and big breath out. And from here, you can just walk your hands up, so you're kneeling. And then we're going to do a little bit of our crow workshop here. So, to start off with, if you want to, you can either grab, if you have a yoga bolster, or you can take a pillow, and just to give yourself a little bit more confidence, you can place it there in front of you. But I assure you, we're not going to be doing any face planting. It's just there to give yourself a little bit more confidence. So you can have it there if you want to. And then from here, we're going to plant our hands shoulder distance apart. And then you can tuck your toes underneath so you find yourself in this little crouch position. And then already I want you to find those really active hands. So fingers spread out, palms nice and flat. And again, just find that little spider action. So crunching up and lifting the knuckles up. Then from here, we're going to lift the hips up nice and high. Now, key with all arm balances is we tend to want to look down between our hands, but then if you're looking down, you'll end up wanting to go down that way. So we want to look forwards and up toward the top of the mat. So I'm looking at this yoga bolster. And to do that, and the reason why we do that is because then when we lean forwards, we're looking, and then we're going to float into the arm balance rather than just trying to lift up. So, palms nice and flat, lift the hips, gaze is forwards. Then we take our chaturanga arms. So we start to bend the elbows back towards the back of the mat, and that's going to create a little bit of a shelf for our knees. You might want to bring the knees to the top of the elbows, or maybe you can bring them onto the triceps. So the deeper you bend into the arms, the more we'll be able to find that little shelf for your knees. Then looking forwards, we start to lean the weight forwards into the hands. And then just having a little go, just rocking forwards and backwards here. And as we do, we're rounding the back, we're squeezing the core, like that position we found on our back at the beginning of the class. Then you can have a go with lifting one foot in towards the body, squeeze the core, and then step it back. And then lift the other foot, squeeze the core, step it back. And you can just keep this going like that marches that we found before. Or if we want to, looking forwards, if you feel like the weight is in the hands, you can have a go with lifting the other foot off as well. And if you fall out just for a second, that's okay. Just give yourself a moment, roll the wrists out, and you can have another go. If you're finding it hard to get those feet off the ground, you can also have a go with placing your feet on blocks if you have them. So bring your feet, the blocks, hip distance apart, standing onto the blocks, and then bring the hands out in front. So that's just lifting the hips up nice and high, bending the elbows back, gazes forwards, rounding the back, so you can plant those knees on top of the triceps and see if we can shift forwards. Squeeze the core. Very good. Okay, so just having another go if you want. remembering to take a little bit of a break, roll the wrists out, even if you want to pause the video. Just give yourself a moment and then come back into it. You can do. Okay, so when you're ready, I'm just going to meet back in our child's pose. So hips back towards the heels, hands out in front. Take a big breath in and out. From here, you're going to slide your hands towards the top of the mat, and as you do, the hips are going to come up nice and high, and we're going to come into our puppy dog pose. So here, we're just going to stretch out through the shoulders, melting the chest towards the mat. Either the forehead is down towards the ground, or you can even take the gaze through between the hands, bringing the chin down. Inhaling here, and exhale. And again, big breath in, and out. And gently walking the hands back in under the shoulders. Little wiggle out. Tucking the toes, lift the knees, take the hips up and back, downward dog. Inhaling here. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step, walk, or hop the feet up to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rolling up, lift the arms, big breath in. And exhale, bring the hands at the chest. Okay, from here, I'll give you another little play around with our crow pose, and I'll also give you the option, if you want to, have a go with coming into crow and then jumping back through into a chaturanga. So, to start off with, feet are hip distance apart, and then we're just going to come up onto our toes. And then I want you to take your hands out from the body, palms facing down, and this 90-degree angle from the body. Then from here, start to bend into the legs. We're going to take this really slow crouch all the way down. So we're lifting the heels. We're going to work all through the ankles, through the calves, slowly coming down, 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 down. And then coming into this nice low crouch. Bring the hands down towards the ground. You may even want to step your feet back a little bit, just so you've got that space for your hands to come out in front. The same as before. If we want it, lift the hips, gazes forwards, bend the elbows back, find that shelf for the knees, and then rocking forwards into the hands. See if you can have a little bit of hold here, squeezing the core. And then if you want to, have a go with shooting the feet to the back of the mat and landing in that chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, big breath in. Exhale, downward dog. Inhaling here. Exhale to stay. Big breath in and out. One more breath, inhale. Bend the knees, look forwards. You can step, walk or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rolling up, lift the arms. And exhale, hands at the chest. And again, big breath in, lift the arms. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. If you want to go into that crow pose, you can bend into the legs, plant the hands. See if you can find a little crow here. Jumping it back or stepping it back into your chaturanga. So the reason why we do these is because maybe in these later classes that we do these next few days, you might want to add this crow pose into your sun salutations. Just for a little bit of fun, just to work on balance, work on strength, and it just shakes up and makes your practice your own. Of course, if you prefer to just stick with your normal sun salutations, then of course you can, but it's just that option for anyone who wants a little bit of playtime. So one more breath here. Exhale, bend the knees, look forwards, step, walk or hop. Up to the top, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rolling up, lifting the arms and hands out the chest. Very nice. Let's just take our feet hip distance apart. Turn your heels in slightly. And then we're going to come down into our malasana. So bending the legs, bringing the hips down nice and low, using the backs of the arms to press those knees out a bit wider. And then just holding here if we can. Big breath in. Big breath out. And again, inhale. Since we've been working quite a bit on our wrists, you also have this option to flip the palms. So bringing the back of the hands together and then feeling the weight of those hands pressing in, stretching out through the tops of the wrists. Big breath in and out. And then from here, just bring the hands behind us. Take ourselves all the way back onto our back. And then you're going to bring the right knee into the chest, let the left leg go out long. You're going to find a nice twist here. Take the knee across the body. Let the right arm fall back out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. And out. And slowly come back through the middle, switch the sides, left knee in, right leg out long. And then find that twist. So how did you get on with your crow pose? Did you manage to learn something new? If you've never done it before, did you manage to do it? Or did you find it a little easier this time? Also, this is a great class to come back to if you want to just brush up on those arm balancing skills. And then of course, always remember that you can always bring them into any class that we do. So from here, just bringing the knees into the chest, big breath in and out. And then we can take a Shavasana here, letting the legs go out long. Arms by the sides. Take a big breath in. I want you to hold the inhale at the top. And then open the mouth and sigh the breath out. And then just let the body be nice and relaxed. You can stay here for however long you want. And I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.